Mr. Kubiak is going to go first.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Rich Kubiak, and I am a freshman here at Canisius College, running for Senate Vice President for Business and Finance. I am a double major in Economics and Finance, and I am currently an undergraduate Student Association Senator that is active on the Public Safety Committee and the Finance Committee. I'm also a member of Phi Alpha Delta, Canisius' law fraternity, and a participant on the mock trial team. In high school, I was fortunate enough to have been elected Class of 2012 President, National Honor Society President, and Student Council President, also being valedictorian of my senior class. If elected, I will apply the same passion, dedication, and responsibility that allowed for success in those clubs to the position of Vice President for Business and Finance. If elected for Business and Finance Vice President, I will implement necessary fiscal policies that can be actualized over my remaining years at Canisius and effective for years thereafter. Canisius is an exceptional school with a high standard of education and a high success rate in the local and non-local workforce. It is not enough to achieve and become complacent. It is necessary to always strive for further success. As Vice President for Business and Finance, I will address first the issue of the NFTA Metro Passes. I will advocate that these Metro Passes be funded at the risk of a marginal tax increase for the students. A marginal rise that will allow for student clubs to thrive and to continue to thrive, as well as which will allow students the convenience of metro transportation. I will explore the feasibility of these passes for students that remain in the Buffalo area for student internships related to Canisius College. Second, I intend to extend the fiscal transparency and responsibility set forth by current Vice President Brian Omendinger that he has afforded us this year. However, I will shift and alter the budget and appeals process to be more systematic to ensure timeliness and responsibility on behalf of club representatives. Budgets and appeals will only be addressed during the appropriate fall and spring meetings. And third, I will work to create an auditing committee that will ensure that club spending is done efficiently. This subcommittee will eliminate redundancy and excessive spending while guarantee student assets remain in student organizations. Understandably, the natural inclination may lead to voting for the most senior candidate. However, it is vital to assess where voting for the most senior candidate has got us in past years. As John F. Kennedy once said, change is a law of life, and those who look to the past or present will certainly miss the future. Vote Rich Kubiak, Senate VP for Business and Finance. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Kubiak. We'll now hear statements from Danielle Giancarlo.
Good evening, members of the Undergraduate Student Association. I'm Danielle Giancarlo, and I would like to be your next Vice President of Business and Finance. I'd like to take this opportunity tonight to impress on you how well equipped and enthusiastic I am to take on this position and the responsibility associated with it. I've had the last 3 years to observe what works well for the Canisius student body and what does not. Working closely with the past VPs, hand in hand, I'm fully aware of what the job entails, and I'm fully ready to take on that responsibility. More importantly, I'm ready and I have ideas to improve upon it. I've sat in on countless finance committee meetings, and I'm extremely happy to say that I have a plan that I've devised which will immediately tackle a majority of the problems plaguing clubs today. The theme for my goals revolves around increasing the transparency of the finance committee, which would be improved through communication of budget deadlines, finance committee expectations and standards, and eliminating the general uncertainty that many students of Canisius have about what USA does with the student tax dollars. This uncertainty and confusion has been a chronic problem for my last 3 years at Canisius, and there are issues that I wish to remedy. My first goal will be updating and publicizing those standards that Finance Committee uses to allocate funds. From speaking with club leaders and listening to your concerns, I recognize that there is a significant lack of communication between the Finance Committee and the clubs about how budgets are being evaluated and judged. If elected, I will hold a Finance Committee meeting before the end of the semester to devise the standards and communicate those to the body before clubs write their budgets for the fall of 2013. These standards will not only clarify the budgeting process, but they will also assure clubs that they're being judged and allocated funds equally. This is my second goal, fair and equitable decisions. Smaller clubs are concerned that they are not given the opportunity to grow because larger clubs have preference in funding. Using consistent standards, I will assure that large clubs continue to receive the funding they need to succeed, while smaller clubs are given the same financial opportunity to grow and thrive. My third goal also pertains to budgeting, and that goal is to simply reevaluate the timeline for submitting budgets. Clubs are consistently faced with the responsibility of submitting budgets in the midst of finals, and I would like to look into changing that deadlines so that students can focus on their academics during finals week. Along with this, I plan to completely overhaul the dreaded budget form and begin editing it, which I've already done. My final goal pertains to the future, and I know that one of the biggest problems on students' minds are the NFT and Metro passes. And while that issue is not up to the discretion of me alone, but this year's and next year's Senate, I can assure each and every one of you that I'm capable and willing to lead this body in a way so that neither the Metro passes nor the funding for clubs on campus will suffer. Certainly, I have the most experience in Senate and on the Finance Committee, but don't vote for me because I'm experienced. Vote for me because I have a vision for next year, and I have the organizational skills and determination to make that vision a reality. Help me to help every student, every club, both big and small, to have the financial opportunity to succeed and aspire next year. I urge you to place your trust and confidence in me, and I will not let you down. Thank you very much for your time, and consider voting for me as next year's Vice President of Business and Finance.
Thank you. We would now like to welcome Ms. Kristen Warner and Ms. Continetti. They will be running for Vice President of Programming, and we will begin with Ms. Continetti.
Thanks, John. So hi everyone, my name is Continetti. I'm a junior here at Canisius. I am the current Vice President for Programming. In addition to that, last year I was the Spring Fest co-chair, and I have been a member of SPB since I first started attending Canisius in fall of 2011. Now, the first thing I'd really like to tell you is just how much I love this job. I have the best job on the whole campus because I get to create events that help students create memories and friendships that they'll keep for the rest of their lives. Now, I know most of you in this room have probably attended at least one SPB event, whether it's Christmas in the Quad, The Price is Right, or semi-formal. And even if you've never attended any of those, I'm sure all of you in this room have a story that begins, I remember that Spring Fest when. So it's just such a great opportunity to create these programs that everyone loves and everyone has memories from. And I would hope in the future to continue creating great programs for everyone else. Now this year, SPB has a really successful year. Two of our most successful events have been semi-formal and the Philip Phillips concert. Now semi-formal, we had a complete sellout, as we did with the Philip Phillips concert. And I heard from many people after that they would like to see more semi-formals because they really enjoyed the dancing. So I would hope that for next year we would have two semi-formals, one in the spring and one in the fall. And also with the Philip Phillips concert, again, complete sellout. It was the first time we've had a sold-out concert since 2009 with Matt Nathanson. So I hope that, again, next year we'll continue to have that kind of concert because it's clear that the student body has the same interest in it and will continue to support it. Now, for the rest of SPB's events, again, I think they're all very traditional events that the entire community sees as a core part of our Canisius tradition. So what I would hope to do is keep them the way they are, but at the same time revamp them so that we have some new ideas, like fresh takes on our current traditions. So for example, with Christmas in the Quad, what I'd like to do is there are a lot of different things you can bring in, like snow tubing, sledding, like we even have a portable ice rink you can bring in, so it's like a winter wonderland aspect of this fun Christmas event. Another thing I'd like to do as a brand new event is have like a fall festival. So we have like pumpkins and pumpkin painting and all, a barbecue outside in early October where it's still nice and warm. So I think those will just be some great events. So please vote for me. Our SPB slogan this year is Plan Bigger, Party Better. And I would encourage you to keep the party going, and vote for me as re-elected VP of Programming. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Continetti. Kristen Warner.
Hey guys, I'm Kristen Warner and I'm running for VP of Programming. I respect everything that Ann has done this year with SPB. However, there is some room for improvement and I believe I'm the better candidate to bring this to the job. One of my main priorities is to work closely with other SPB members to make the communication more efficient. I want to revamp current events to make them more appealing to the Canisius community. It's really important that we distribute the money in an appropriate manner. I plan on giving the money to the events that the student body wants to attend. This may include cutting small programs, but only to enhance the more popular programs. For example, instead of just having a concert like Phil Phillips, having a small event to help promote that concert. One example of this would be having a chicken wing eating or any other type of contest where you can win a chance to meet Phil Phillips or meet whoever we bring, or a VIP pass, so you don't have to wait in line for Build-A-Bear. I promise if you elect me, things will get done the right way, which is the Warner way. For more information, feel free to visit my Facebook page. Now, the name is really hard to remember. It's Kristen Warner for VP of Programming. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Warner. This ends the speech phase of our program tonight. Thank you, ladies.
Thank you.